Wow, they have just elongated the entire process by taking a review of the last ball.
The last ball.
To give Dayalis 4 wickets. Are we live?
And the lights are live. Oh!
We are live and the lights.
And Gujarat Titans now are on top in the IPL 2022 points table. Who would have thought? I didn't think, certainly none of us
No.
They would be in top spot. Hardik Pandya, brilliant 86. Bowling lineup was locky for Butler hit and the end result is
Yes, they are impressed after
getting hit for 23 runs.
Butler took a toll.
Absolutely.
What, 33 runs in his first two overs?
First 2 overs,
It
yes.
was insane with the kind of hitting you saw with Josh Butler at the crease. It was just amazing to watch. At one point, I thought, boss, when he got out, by the way, Rajasthan had 65 runs on the board.
Yeah.
Out of those 65, 50.
Sums up Rajasthan Royals in a nutshell.
Poor shot selection. Shimron Hetmeyer had already hit 2 fours and a 6 of Shami, but in the quest for glory, just threw away his wicket. And Nisham struggled because it's first game, Rashid Khan on top of him. You can't get too many runs of Rashid.
Tell me, in the last 3 scored runs for Rajasthan apart from Butler and Hetmeyer.
Exactly.
one.
And Sanju Samson's
Today, but I thought he okay.
always looks good.
But the problem, if I take on the arm of Hardik Pandya with the guy, by the way, day, it becomes a great day. And with Hardik Pandya getting Sanju Samson, he took a cotton bolt also.
Yeah.
So lots
Very good
of
catch.
fantasy bonus points for whoever made Hardik Pandya their captain or vice captain on the Gamezy app.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
that throw snapped the middle stump in half actually, if you have to look at it.
In fact, if I'm not wrong, Hetmeyer would have also been run out.
Yes.
But he just got
Just
in.
made.
Just
Yes.
got.
Tried a lot of players. Far distance. I really hope Hardik stays fit. He's a captain's dream.
Well, considering he, went off with a bit of a pull-up, it's a bit of a concern if you're
I
an
think
Indian
so. It's
cricket
more
fan.
cramps.
Yes, of course.
The way he was batting also, you thought was cramps. That's what even the commentators on air were talking about. That he's suffering from cramps. That's what kept him out in those initial overs.
Yeah.
But towards the end also, you saw him drinking water, sipping on more fluid. So I am hoping and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. It's just cramp because we want a fit Hardik Pandya
For the T20
available.
World Cup. Yeah,
Already
yeah,
one guy, we are
absolutely.
not sure whether he's going to be there at that T20 World Cup or not. Deepak Chair.
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
Hardik Pandya is definitely needed.
Guys, for Shivam, Galaxy Warrior saying it's lagging, video is lagging, please solve it. And is there an internet issue that we are facing?
Well, guys, we'll have to apologize for that because our
Yes.
producers
We can't help
fix
it.
internet issues.
Yep.
So,
Gujarat Titans top of the table. Pradeep Srivalsan is saying time for people like us to eat the humble pie and acknowledge what these guys, especially Hardik, has done. Oh, yes.
I agree.
Before the season started, like the most of us, for that matter, we predicted that Gujarat would finish somewhere around 9th or 10th among the 10 teams. Simply because we thought their batting lineup wasn't good. In couple of those games has to step up for them. Just Sam Bill. Kedar Jadhav.
Oh, yeah.
So By the way, played, let's be fair,
Brilliantly.
he
Very
played
good
brilliantly. 43 runs he scored, and very important 43 runs of just 28 balls, if I'm not wrong. I haven't seen the
Indeed,
scorecard.
indeed. And again, it's like every piece of the jigsaw puzzle is slowly falling into place for Gujarat Titans.
Yeah.
If Shuman doesn't fire, then you've got Hardik and Abhinav Manohar Sadarangani. And if they don't come up with the goods, then probably with Miller's exhibition today, that is Tewatia, don't worry.
Don't
can produce
forget.
miracles.
Yes.
I keep saying Lockie Ferguson. Trent Bolt was missing in action for Rajasthan. Sen was taken one, but 46 runs he gave away. Had a bad day. Okay, how he comes back, gets hit for a 6 also.
Yes.
The way
Yeah.
Butler scooped it for a 6 to get to his 50. Very next ball, he bowled the ball of the match. And I think so, it's one of the top balls in this entire IPL also.
Yeah.
A slower in-dipping Yorker that reminded me of a certain
Lasith Malinga.
Ah,
Yes.
But guys, I think the connection and the buffering is getting worse. I'm even checking on my mobile. It is becoming even worse.
It might just be a problem with, there's a bit of a storm outside, so that could be
Oh yeah.
interrupting
Yes,
our broadcast.
today in Delhi NCR we had a violent storm in the evening.
Bavander aa gaya hai.
Wonder as yes. So that is why yes, we are trying to sort out the lagging issues. So please bear with us. I know that it is a bit difficult and the pressure is there, but yes.
But
it shall
there's
happen.
only so much we can control, guys. So.
Yes. Abhi Adhikari, funny thing, Ashwin was retired out for not being a power hitter. On very next day, he was said
Oh,
to
yeah.
push the run rate. Again, a major talking point when it comes to Ashwin. Two problems with Ashwin's hitter.
Yeah.
When was the last time you can recollect that he hit 2-3 sixes consecutively in say 2 overs, 1 over or 2 overs? In the last game before he retired out, he hit 2 sixes. But then he was asked to retire out. In whose favor? In Riyan Parag's favor. Now here he's pushed to number 3. He doesn't. That batting order.
I think
Seriously.
it was.
Yeah.
I don't know who comes up with every now and then, there was a time who would have thought that Butler and Ashwin would be at the crease at the same
Batting
time. We
together.
both were discussing it. You remember?
We were scared. What if the opposition Mankad's Butler? So
Ashwin will be in favor.
Ashwin will be in favor of
It's
it.
no more a Mankad or
It's
run
run
out.
out.
It's now
It's
run out.
Yes. So again, let me say one thing in this favor. Okay. In the case of Sangakkara and Mahela Jayawardene, two coaches. And
Our video is actually terrible. I was just checking it out.
Yes,
it is indeed terrible.
It is.
Sorry
we are-
about that, guys.
Only, as I said, there's only so much we can control. Yeah, I know. I
It is
mentioned
very
that.
windy outside, and I think we will once again face a lot of connection issues. So please bear
But
with
just
us.
in case, Shivam, please.
Thank
Please,
you.
yeah, do that. So I just have one thing to say in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Mahela and Sangakkara are now faced with some tactical acumen issues, if you have to look at it. Mahela acknowledged in the game after the loss against Punjab Kings that this was the best 11 that they could have dreamt of. I'm sorry. You play just 3 foreign players. You don't have depth in the foreign batting. It's an indirect admission that you screwed up with the mega auction.
Absolutely.
Sangakkara, I don't know what he is planning with Ashwin. Did the shock value go for a toss? Because would he have expected a 12 ball 35 from Ashwin?
No, of course not.
No, I think so. He was there because Butler was going great guns from.
And they
ahead.
wanted someone to
I think
shoot.
so. They just wanted somebody there to take those singles. And even though he hit Rashid Khan for a 6, I thought that like a rocket. Like in Ravi Shastri's words, that went
Trace
like
a bullet.
If you see in bewildering how Miller.
That's Adhikari agrees with him. But again, I say the death overs batting would have gone compromised.
But I mean, look, they bat till number 8. So sending Neesham would have
No,
actually.
my entire
been-
point is Neesham is not your answer. Top players at their position. Now, why experiment so much? Sanju Samson could have come out and. Why try so many things? Maybe it would have come off if Miller would not have taken the catch, but it did not clearly.
But
right?
it was not coming off even then. He was struggling.
Yes.
He was really struggling. That 160 he hit, but aside from that, he was loitering around. So I don't understand. The whole point of Ashwin, the test batsman, is that he's someone who's a classical stroke maker. From the and that's in fact that this season scored like 25 runs. 2019, his debut season, his strike rate was 126. After that, it was 111, 112.
Yeah.
Pinch hitter.
Nah. You all experts, we are trying Tom that we have just had. Well, we are getting suggestions that we do it on Insta and Twitter, but boss,
But the internet is
No,
still
but
the
you should
same.
answer Rajesh Guge. How are you all experts?
trying to cope up with the storm. We are there. We will all be really better.
Yeah, we will be much better, and we're fine actually. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
Hope you are doing well as well.
Taha Kazmi, I can
No,
dance.
I'm not sure whether he's saying it in the same light as you guys are thinking. He probably could be mocking us that are you guys experts? How are you guys?
Well, in all fairness,
how are you guys?
But in all fairness,
experts?
you and I called that Gujarat would win it. So
Yes.
No, but we are not the experts, irrespective of that.
Yeah.
We are fans who love watching the game with our family members, and we like discussing stuff like you would, you know, when your family is around and you're watching a game together.
Yep.
Don't that. So we all discuss stuff related to cricket, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's that.
So Taha Kazmi has got, I think, the comment of the day for me.
Ah.
He says, okay, wait, where did... Can I get the finisher job? Maybe you'll get it by
might
2025. Yes. Parag should be dropped and Karun Nair can play. Karun Nair.
Yeah,
I'm also not
best known.
But Raman Singh, I think, makes a very valid observation.
What does he
Guys,
say?
please tell me who are the brilliant cricketing minds behind these blunders of sending Ashwin at number 3 today and Krishnappa Gautam at number 3 by LSG. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
No, Krishnappa Gautam at number 3, Holder at number 4.
Ah.
That before he was on strike, and when he was on strike, like, has Ashwin come
Ashwin?
to bat at
Really?
3?
I mean,
So, yes. Great comeback by Lockie after the onslaught of Joss and excellent fielding by Hardik to get Sanju. Varun Parvataneni has said.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, correct.
What a, I mean, Lockie, every single time, I mean, barring that one game that he had against Punjab Kings where he's just, I think, probably struggled with due because he lost the line totally to Nicholas Puran. But here, that Yorker to Butler, what a ball.
I know. Beautiful.
And bowling consistently, I think he had the fastest ball of the match. if I
He
remember.
did. He did.
He had the
crossed
first 3
150.
fastest, then there was one Kuldeep Sen delivery, and then the 5th
Yeah,
one.
so-
But I'm saying that also to have that presence of mind, you have taken a wicket, then Butler has come back and hit you for a 6, and he's got to a 50, a guy who's batting on 54, and yet you have that presence of mind to bowl a slower and nipping Yorker. And the way he managed to pull it off, I think
Beautiful.
That should tell you how good a bowler Lockie Ferguson is. As
And
well.
that could be a very dangerous ploy if he uses it as a
That guy
wicket-taking
bowls
option.
150 and suddenly
Yeah, suddenly that.
bowls a dipping Yorker 20 kilometers. 20 kph lighter.
Exactly.
So amazing.
3 for 23 in 4 overs. I mean, if there was Hardik Pandya would definitely get it because of his all-round skills today. But I think my man of the match, the guy who changed the entire course of the match was Lockie Ferguson.
Yeah.
Had he not stopped Butler, then
No, but man of the match is Hardik
Yeah.
Pandya for sure,
Absolutely.
undoubtedly.
So
There's no way anybody else is getting it when a guy has scored 87 not out of 52 balls.
Taken a couple of
when
wickets.
a guy has taken 1 wicket, caught and bowled, but more importantly, got Sanju Samson run out. And that run out could well have been the difference, even though Butler was going well.
Yeah.
But Samson also, we know, can be very destructive.
Yes.
It's just that towards the middle stages and towards the end stages, he sort of slumps off.
Yeah.
For God knows why.
thanks Varun for pointing out. Yes, Puran now plays for Sunrisers, not Punjab. I'm
Also,
very
Rajesh
sorry.
Gupta has given us a clarification.
Oh, Rajesh Guge is saying you really are experts for me. Thanks. Thank you so much. I get all information from you. It's just that in the social media, you just can't tell who's saying true and who's mocking. Thanks.
That is
we
correct.
try to make it as easy.
So you both were correct, and what I was thinking was wrong.
Yeah.
That's good
Unlike
to know.
my predictions.
That's
which
good to
again
know.
were off the mark after.
Yeah. By the way, guys, we forgot to roast him for that.
18-3.
No, 7-18. CSK, I got it right. Punjab, I got it right.
Okay.
Today, I lost it. Again.
No, today again. By the way, even Rahul bhai
Yeah.
Was cursing you?
Was cursing you. He said, "Where is Siddharth?" He was asking, "Where is Siddharth?" He picked Rajasthan, right? And we said, "Yeah." He said, "That is why they are losing."
Anyway, tomorrow I'm picking KKR. So that's
Ay,
okay.
yaar. I'm planning on wearing my t-shirt, man. Don't do that to me.
Redacted Shetty. Ashwin is no Naren. RR didn't need to experiment with the lineup. Could they
Also-
have sent Parag
Also,
instead
even the
to
Narayan experiment sometimes doesn't work.
Yeah,
doesn't work,
the
yes.
difference though is that with there, you know, when KKR do the Narayan experiment, they do it when they have nothing to lose. If it works, great. If it's not, you still have batting. These guys don't have that batting. And Ashwin is not a power hitter.
And could you have sent Parag? No, that was
No.
not the option. Who do they have as their number 3? After Butler and
I think Samson is your number 3.
Number
He has to
four.
be your number 3.
Rassi Vanderdussen, 2
But I
games he
think
hasn't
Van
fired
der
yet.
Dussen has struggled, yes.
But who? So now maybe what they can do right now is drop Vanderdussen, get Daryl Mitchell in, ask him to open alongside Josh Butler.
Yep.
Then you have got Sanju Samson
Sanju, DDP.
at 4, Padikkal at 3. I'm saying Padikkal at 3, Sanju Samson at 4. Then at number 5, 6, Hetmer and whoever.
And
My entire problem is that still that lower middle order is not something that you'll be very happy about when you look at that Rajasthan lineup. You look at players like Chahal Bolt, okay, decent bowling. You look at players like Butler, Samson and Padikkal and then like decent batting. But in the middle,
There's
a
a void.
whatever is there, you're like, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
That sandwich is definitely lacking some ingredients in the middle, which is spicy or bland or meaty.
And people
or
might
veggie.
say that we keep picking on Riyan Parag, and even though he scored a 6, a good 6,
Yeah.
a 4 or whatever, 17 runs of some 12, 13 deliveries, I guess.
Yep.
But you need more from somebody who's supposed to be your finisher. Shimron Hetmer got out for 29 today,
Yep.
but Hetmer has been the games that you guys have won.
All been thanks to
Rajasthan
him.
fans have all been because of either Butler or Hetmer.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And Yuzvendra Chahal in the bowling
Yes.
department. Let's not forget him.
Let's not forget that. Storytelling writer is saying, is this where RR starts going on a decline? I will say this is the period where Sanju is definitely on a decline. But RR, well,
If they lose another game, then you'll say that yes, they're finally that this formula is being found out, and that shouldn't truth be told what we all were waiting for. We've been saying it for ages now that middle order doesn't look stable, the low middle order does not look stable, the bowling can be dodgy, and well, we're finally seeing those come to fruition. But I don't think their decline has begun yet. They lose a second game on the trot and then a third game types, I'll say yes, absolutely.
well, Manikan.
This is second on the table, if I'm not
Yeah, so you can't.
Too
No,
early.
third.
Still too
Third.
early.
Second is KKR. I remember that. Obviously.
Yeah.
The second was KKR when RR was
They showed the table.
They showed the table.
showed the table,
So the
yes.
net run rate has gone down.
Gone
now.
down. Yeah, it's 37 runs.
37 run loss. It's going to
So
go down.
again, in the middle phases, there teams do encounter a phase where they do lose 3-4 consecutive games. Maybe RR are in the middle of that, but is it a decline? I will keep my opinion. I will say no, not yet. If they lose 3-4 consecutive games and if the other teams start to pick, then you may say yes, they are in a decline. But at the end of the day, we are just okay. This one comment has really got me thinking. Okay.
What's the
Nobody is talking about youngsters like Shahbaz and Suyash. That their fault being with RCB, Manikan Reddy, Mutiala. No. We praise Shahbaz and Suyash Prabhu.
And Suyash has played one game.
Yeah.
And looked so good.
Yes.
We praised them in the CSK game, and we have been praising Shahbaz ever since his exploits against Lucknow, right? If I'm not mistaken, or Gujarat. Shahbaz Ahmed when he hit.
Shahbaz 2-3 games.
Yes.
He hit 41 in the last game also, by the way.
Exactly.
Against Chennai.
Clean hitting and even confident batting, if I have to look at it. So there is no question that it's not a fault that they're with the RCB team. No, RCB have got a very good mix of players who are young and experienced. But sometimes their efforts might get overshadowed because some other players perform pretty well. And that is the thing. We don't talk about them. That's not true. We have talked about Suyash Prabhu Desai and
We did.
Shahbaz.
We
Yes.
praised both of them, and we said that we want to see more of Suyash Prabhu Desai.
That dude
for
has
And
so much
Shahbaz-
confidence.
And considering Shahbaz was part of the RCB camp, but every time he start with the ball for them, if you guys remember. But with his batting, he left a lot to be desired.
But,
But this season, boss, I have been really impressed with the way RCB have lined up their batting lineup this season, because DK as a finisher, players like Shahbaz also scoring runs. It's not like yesterday when they were 50. Not yesterday. When was the RCB?
Couple of days back.
Tuesday.
Couple of days.
Tuesday, the RCB CSK game. They were 50 for 4. Okay, RCB. But still, they did not give up hope, because Shahbaz and Suyash Prabhu Desai both were playing really well. They got to 193, man.
Yeah.
And with DK also coming in at the end, it was great to watch. And it was those two youngsters who got them back into the game. At one point, people were worried. Chennai fans were worried that maybe
DK was still there.
Bangalore could win the game.
Because
Because
DK,
of that?
to his credit, was batting like a dream.
Yeah.
Absolute dream.
Yeah.
He was in that Nidahas zone where he knows every ball can be hit and every ball can be hit into the boundary and the gaps can be formed. So that is why. And after seeing this fierce competition, Rajesh Guge is saying, I don't get the feeling that CSK and MI, especially MI, will qualify easily. Well, I will tell you one thing. CSK were lucky that Tikshana got them the power play wickets, and because Dinesh Karthik holed out to a full toss. Okay. And Dubey and Uttappa fired in tandem, because if you look at it, apart from Dubey and Uttappa, none of the other players have fired. Dhoni for 1 or 2 games, Jadeja has not fired, Rituraj has not fired, and so has Moeen Ali. The bowling, Tikshana came through luckily, and Mukesh Chaudhary is still hit and miss. Jadeja has not fired. MI in particular, I don't know, 5 out of 5. Let's remember, 2014 when they reached the playoffs, that was an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
And let me remind MI fans that the last game against Rajasthan Royals, you got through due to a mathematical technicality. The match was actually tied. You needed to hit a 6 of the last ball or a boundary. I think it was a 6.
Aditya Tare and the celebration.
And James Faulkner dishing out a full toss.
Yeah.
Like a gift. Please go. Rahul Dravid, yes.
Who will
forget?
Yeah, Rahul Dravid getting angry. Like, I'm sure not many of us
I've
had
ever seen that before.
Seen it before, that particular reaction
Yes.
from him in that game.
Redacted Shetty seems to agree with your point, Siddhant, that Darrell can go hard along with Butler and maybe fix
I
their
think
batting
because they're
themselves.
trying, but I am not sure. I think they need to also think about what their best combinations are. I said it. I said it thinking that that's another option.
Yeah.
But their think tank needs to realize that whatever they are doing, they need to figure out what is going to happen to their lower middle order. That lower middle order is their problem. They might get runs at the top. They might get wickets with players like Yuzvendra Chahal and Trent Bolt. But it's the finishing, apart from
Yes.
Shimron Hetmyer, if that guy doesn't fire in a single game, you guys struggle. So that is my problem with Rajasthan. Otherwise, let me tell you, people might say that I am a Rajasthan hater, or you might be a Rajasthan hater, that I am picking on Riyan Parag. But before this IPL even started, I picked Rajasthan as one of my top 4 teams that will reach the playoffs. So please don't come back at me saying that I am a hater, because I am not. I'm
Yes.
just talking about what we are seeing in terms of their quality on the field. There's quality up top, there's quality down below, but in the middle, there's a lot left to be desired from that.
Yeah,
Rajasthan
Varun,
side.
I think, is taking off from your comment on the comment of who can be in place of Riyan Parag. He's got a suggestion. Could Jaiswal have played?
No.
I mean, again, see, I will, before Siddhant and Shane come up with their opinions, I will say, see, Jaiswal has primarily been an opener. If you look at right from his under 19 days, he's always been an opener. Has had great success in the under 19 World Cup. Also for Mumbai in the Vijay Hazare. Remember, he hit a double 100 for them in the Vijay Hazare Trophy for Mumbai. Apart from that, I have not seen Jaiswal play in any other position. Can he adjust to that? Because already Rajasthan have
very top heavy.
They have a great opening options. If Daryl Mitchell's there, Josh Butler, maybe Devdutt Padikkal, Sanju
And
They
Samson.
also
by the
naturally
way-
an opener.
By the way, for Devdutt Padikkal, we have to say that we expected a lot more from him as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has scored 37, he has scored 140 odd runs. But apart from that, he is also misfired
yes.
quite a lot.
Especially when you compare it to his RCB form. When
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was, you
For
know,
RCB, he was brilliant.
Absolutely beautiful.
And my problem is that even if you think about getting Jaiswal in, your problem is that fifth bowling option also, na? You need somebody in the lower middle order who can smash the ball as well as give you at least 2-3 overs to aid you. Now with Riyan Parag, you saw what Gujarat, even though he picked up Shubman Gill's wicket in that over, but you knew they were targeting him. They wanted to go after him. Hardik Pandya hit him for a 6 first ball. Okay, then Shubman Gill hit him for a boundary. But it was that greediness that cost Shubman Gill his wicket because he wanted to hit another 6
Right.
of Riyan Parag. That is how much they believe they can target a bowler like Riyan Parag.
True.
So that is the problem. Jimmy Neesham again did not bowl well for that matter.
Yeah, he
So
did.
who are you getting those 4 overs from?
Yep.
That's the problem, right?
Yes.
So, you know, also it's worth pointing out that with Neesham, even when he plays internationally for New Zealand, his best position is in the middle overs,
Middle overs.
where he kind of just keeps it together, doesn't give away too many runs,
Yep.
might get a wicket or two. How important is that role in a T20 innings? And more importantly, can he actually fulfill that role? Based on whatever evidence we've seen in his IPL career, brief as it has been, he can't. So,
He can't, yes. So the problem, as Siddhant and Shane have mentioned, is the lack of a fifth bowling option. Now, with even Kuldeep Sen going, you can't
Yeah.
fall on the backup of Navdeep Saini again. So the fifth bowling option has actually gotten even more chronic now.
and
Who else can they get? Shivam, if you can put it for us, the Rajasthan Royal squad
Yeah, please
on the
put us the
screen so that
Rajasthan Royal
we
squad,
might look
yes.
at what are the other options
And
available
you know the
to
funny
them.
part is now when the auction was complete, everyone looked at Rajasthan's team and oh god, what a bowling lineup! But my god, they can't get a settled combination.
Like if Harshal goes for RCB, their bowling combination goes for us. With Trent Bolt going out, that presents an even bigger problem now.
True.
Nathan Coulter-Nile is gone. Obed McCoy not proven.
Yes.
No, but Obed McCoy, by the way, because of his T20 form, made it to the West Indies side also. Maybe they could have a look at him, but who does he replace?
Exactly.
Jimmy Neesham?
Even if he replaces Jimmy Neesham, then your batting again becomes weak.
Oh yeah, he's a
right?
full-time bowler.
He's
right.
a full-time bowler.
Yep.
So I just don't know who they can get.
Why not the mystery spin of KC Kariyappa? Has he been found out? Because Kariyappa came into prominence.
When that was because of the KPL.
Yes.
If you remember, he one season in the KPL, nobody picked him. He picked up a lot of wickets. Then, if I'm not wrong, who KKR?
KKR had picked him and he
KKR had
kind of got
picked him,
topped.
And his first wicket was AB de Villiers.
But he got found
But he
out.
got tonked. They got
Yeah,
tonked
got
after
tonked.
that.
So if you have to look at it, there is no bowler.
But maybe he has rediscovered something because
Yeah.
we saw him getting picked again for some reason, right?
Because see, if you look at the right hand side, there is nobody in that side who can who can proclaim himself to be the ideal fifth bowler. Tejas Baroka, inexperienced. Prasidh is leaking runs, but he kind of bowled well today. Obed McCoy not tested. Coulter-Nile out for the season.
Saini, you have already tried.
You have tried, tested, failed.
Kuldeep Yadav,
Kuldeep, the other Kuldeep Yadav,
Yeah.
let me make it
clear, not the
Yes.
Delhi one.
Not
Also,
the Delhi one.
you know, they still haven't signed a replacement for Coulter-Nile, which is, I mean, if they get
I
someone
actually do think if they would have gotten somebody like a Dasun Shanaka, okay,
Shanaka, yes.
the Sri Lankan captain, I thought he played really well against India. And a lot of people pointed it out also because he was not picked at the auctions,
Yes.
that he could be somebody's replacement.
Yeah.
And now that Rajasthan Royals have that opportunity, I really thought they could go for somebody like him because he's a better batsman than Nathan Coulter-Nile. Even though he's not a better bowler, but he can still give you 2-3 overs like he does for Sri Lanka.
And Coulter-Nile, to be fair, is a 3-4.
But they need somebody to finish those innings off also, na? For me, the problem is, it's not. You can get 2-3 overs out of somebody. Even Riyan Parag, if he goes for 15, 17 runs from his 2 overs, that's still fine. But the fact is he giving you those many runs that you expect out of a finisher? Maybe they could get somebody like him and then put somebody else in place of Rassie van der Dussen.
It's also problematic, and it's worth noting.
Nisham for that matter.
It's worth noting that they don't really have much in the way of an Indian contingent in terms of batsmen. If the problem with their bowlers are that they're either untested or unproven or whatever, their Indian batting contingent looks really weak.
Weak indeed.
Because you have Devdutt, you have Sanju, you have, well, who else is there in the Indians?
No one.
No, the Dhruv Jurel is
Dhruv
there.
Jurel
But
is
again, unproven.
untested.
Unproven.
Karun Nair, I don't know how effective he will be. He's not played.
Karun Nair got picked up by KKR last year and didn't play a game, if I'm
Didn't
not
play
corrected.
a game. And Karun, I don't know what's going on in this case. But again, there are a lot of comments asking like which why Sai was dropped. Any specific reason? Which Sai is he? Is it
Sai Sudarshan.
Sai Sudarshan,
Sai
right.
Sudarshan.
Apparently, he had a niggle, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Somebody was pointing it out, but I'm not sure because I did not read it
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah, I didn't
else.
see it. So
No specific reason, Ramesh Devasi, for that.
Maybe it was a niggle because I really
Yeah.
don't understand why they got in
Vijay Shankar.
Vijay Shankar,
Yeah.
considering Sai Sudarshan in that one game, he scored 33 runs. Probably his strike rate wasn't that high.
But
Yeah.
neither
But,
is Vijay
but what has
Shankar's.
Vijay Shankar done to
Exactly.
get
He's not bowled as well.
he bowled today only because Hardik pulled up.
Hardik
That's
pulled
it.
up, yes.
No, but with Vijay Shankar also, what you're getting him for his strike rate. What has he done in this tournament so far?
Or any other tournament.
2 runs of 6 balls, 2 runs of 7 balls today.
13
in the
of
first
20.
game, he scored 3 runs of 6 balls. Then second game, he scored 13 runs of 20 balls. So
what
I
strike
really don't
rate?
see that.
35 balls, 18 runs, I guess, isn't it? 13 of 20, 2 of 7.
Yeah, 3 and 2. Yeah, 13, 3, 2. 3 innings that he has
and
played.
3 of how many balls?
3 of
6 or 7.
3 of 6, I guess.
So 18 runs, no wait.
3 of 7,
18
6,
runs,
whatever.
33 balls.
I'm
Wow.
saying irrespective of that, his
Yeah.
strike rate is almost
Poor.
Very
it's
poor.
almost 50 to 60%,
Rahul,
man. That's
yeah.
not what you need from your number 3 in a T20 game. It's
Not
just
at all.
that Hardik Pandya has been doing rather well, or Shubman Gill
Yeah.
has been performing, and
That
then
is
the
not been exposed.
bowling has been backing their batsmen in that sense.
Rahul Kumar is saying Sanju Samson's under enormous pressure. Don't you agree? No, not as of now. If they lose 3-4 consecutive games, he'll be under enormous pressure. But yeah, with the back, Sanju is like having that trough which we expected.
We did.
But at the end of the day, their bowlers let him down. If the bowlers had found their lengths in the middle stages, then they could have at least restricted Gujarat Titans to under. But again, I have my doubts on that because Hardik was in that zone today. So that's why. Can we just believe blindly on Hardik, who's injury prone for World Cup? No doubt he's a greater. Rajesh, I will believe him on current form.
Yeah.
He's my automatic pick in the 11 because he will give you that X factor.
It's not about us believing in it or not, but I'm sure they're going to have their fitness test, they're going to
Yes.
have their routines, and they'll have a camp at the NCA wherever before they fly out to Australia. And I'm sure Hardik will definitely be in plans because let's face it, in terms of somebody who can bowl 4 overs
Yeah.
and who can smash the ball for you wherever he is playing, nobody better than Hardik Pandya for that dual
Yep.
role
Now,
in India right now.
Rajesh Tanikachalam has been asking me like when CSK's next match with GT, do you think Chennai can win? I will keep my comments for that for the Chennai versus Gujarat win, but it looks like Gujarat have the edge. I will clearly say they have much more depth and everybody is firing.
Gujarat might have the edge, but let's say for Chennai, I think what they need is, first of all, they need their other batsmen to also fire.
Yes.
You can't solely depend on 2 guys. Uthappa has been scoring runs, Shivam Dube have been scoring runs.
And that's it.
Dhoni scored that 150. Apart from that,
He's
who
not
else has
done
done what?
anything, yes.
Jadeja, for that matter, really, I thought
Yeah.
he's going to be one of those guys who's going to score a lot of runs because
But
he was
yeah.
expected. He is batting higher up the order. There was a time he was batting 5 down,
Yeah.
6 down. Now he was batting 4 down at one point. Now he's batting 3 down.
Yes.
And even then, he's not been able to fill that sort of a batsman void that is now there because he's not been scoring runs. Dhoni, see, you know that his form is varying. It's not the Dhoni of the old, right?
yeah,
Not
no way,
somebody
it's not,
who
it's
can smash 30 runs or the final 15 balls, especially when everybody knows that Dhoni is going to struggle against the spinners the moment he comes out to
Yes,
bat.
yes.
Exactly.
Everybody gets spinners in because Dhoni is just unable to play them.
Yep.
And as Sid V keeps telling us about it, that Dhoni's strike rate against spinners,
90.
90. In how many years?
3 years.
In the last 3 years, it's just 90. So I think
Yeah.
for them to fire, I also believe Ruturaj Gaikwad's form is a bigger worry. Simply because last time Faf du Plessis played that role for them where he was scoring a lot of runs. This year, Robin Uthappa is doing that for them.
Yes.
But Gaikwad still hasn't come to form. But last year, there were others who were performing, right?
Yeah.
Raidu scored a few runs. You had Ravindra Jadeja scoring a few runs. But right now, there's just two guys. And that's a huge problem for that CSK.
Can I just say one thing about this?
Moin Ali also really hasn't performed. That
Both bat and
one game he scored 30 odd, 40 odd runs, whatever it was.
Can I just give the sandwich analogy in this case? Rajasthan Royals have the bread.
Yeah.
Okay, the top of the bread, Butler and this thing. They don't have the meat. They don't have the middle. Chennai have the middle thanks to Shivam Dubey and Robin Uthappa. Because Chennai's top and lower order are not firing. At least in Rajasthan Royals case, the top order is firing thanks to Butler primarily. So the sandwich analogy is the top of the bread is there, the slice is there, the top slice is there, the middle meat is there, but the bottom meat slice, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So that is the problem. GT have that.
Are you hungry?
I'm very hungry.
I am actually.
I think so. With the way he was describing sandwich so much, now I feel hungry.
Yeah.
Because
Sandwich,
GT
meat is there, meat is not there, bread is there, but
I want a meat sandwich now.
He kept talking about that sandwich.
Exactly.
And it just made me like, I gotta go eat something.
Ramesh
after
Devasi saying, do you think every team is lacking good backup option in all departments?
No. See, the problem, and he's mentioned about the fact that when 8 teams were there, they all had good backups. Hard disagree with that point. There were many teams even then who would not construct their teams properly and would fill roster spots for the sake of it. And one key player would get injured and they'd be struggling. So, no, I don't think, do you think every team is lacking good backup options? No. I think teams that have made their teams smartly are not lacking good backup options. Whereas teams that have, had a bad auction strategy, well, it's reflecting now that if either their first 11 is good, but the backups are not there, or in some cases, there are still questions over their playing 11s.
Varun agrees with you when it comes to CSK.
Is CSK the team with most players from last year, 6-7, I think, including Deepak Chahal, still struggling?
Yep.
Okay, most players from last year, I would say KKR are up there as well. Because if you look at the team that's there, Venkatesh,
Nitish they bought.
Mavi, the likes of even who else are there?
Russell,
I'm forgetting.
Narayan.
Russell, Narayan, Chakravarti.
Saudi
the guys,
also?
they are the guys they retained.
Yeah, even and from the
Saudi played last year.
Nitish Rana, they got Shivam Mavi, they got.
Squad players also, there's Rinku Singh, Sheldon Jackson.
Yeah, actually.
Saudi and Cummins.
No, squad players,
Cummins
right?
too, yes.
I think so. It's KKR who have got the highest number of players. But yes, CSK also
have retained
got
a good
quite
core.
a few players.
Yes.
Uthappa they got, Ambati Raidu they got, and then they already retained Moin Ali, MS Dhoni, Ravindra Jadeja,
and Ruturaj.
Ruturaj
too.
So 7 players. Deepak Chahar they bought.
Yes, they brought him back.
So they got him back. KM
Asif.
So they also try to do the same thing like KKR. Just that I am not sure whether how successful that strategy.
Do you agree with Jason Fernandez's comment? Punjab look the best side with balance. The Odin Smith conundrum remains.
Yeah, it does. For me, it does too.
That is true.
Because
that is true, but in terms of balance, for me, Punjab, see, they've got few batsmen who are explosive, okay?
Yes.
They have got a Livingston, a Bairstow, and even though Bairstow hasn't done anything in the 2
We
games,
know he's class,
the day he fires, he's gonna win the game single-handedly for his side. We have seen his batting prowess in the past. Livingston again scored 250s in the previous 2 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
But got undone by a brilliant Yorker from Bumrah.
I mean, that was what was needed to undo
That
him.
was one of the ball of the tournament.
Yes.
And then you have, by the way, let's not forget, they've got 2 great guys at the top. Mayank Agarwal hasn't scored runs, scored a 50 in the last game.
Shikhar
and
Dhawan.
if he's on form, and with Shikhar Dhawan playing that sheet anchor's role perfectly, I think Punjab has also got a great lineup. It's just that their 5th bowler can concede so many runs that they get worried themselves whether they can win the game or not.
One guy in that, Jitesh Sharma, who's been really...
it's actually an interesting shout though, because aside from Odean, I can't really pick a weak link in that team, because even their bowling, if it fires, you have Rabada, you have Chahar, you have Arshdeep.
Vaibhav Arora.
Yes.
But for me, Arshdeep is one of the most underrated performers, and you realize why Punjab retained him.
They were so keen to retain him.
In the last game also, where Odean Smith ended up giving away 18 runs in the final over, Arshdeep is the reason why they got back into the game.
Yes.
Because Hardik
Yes.
Pandya and the others couldn't tonk him. He was bowling those wide Yorkers so well, those slower balls.
And he was not giving the batsman room and in that arc
so
also.
impressive Arshdeep Singh. Last game also that final over he bowled.
Yes.
Again those Yorkers. And that put more pressure on Surya Kumar Yadav.
And the other thing,
tried to hit
Ashley,
Rabada out. got out.
He's unconventional in a way, so batsmen find it hard to attack him. Normally speaking, what is conventional wisdom if you're a left-arm seamer bowling against a right-handed batsman? Never go around the wicket. That dude goes around the wicket and will nail Yorker after Yorker.
Yeah.
Try hitting him. And he has this, ice running through his veins. He never looks phased. Even when he gets hit, he'll just come back. So I think that scrappiness he has in him is also very
was evident in his first game in 2021 itself when he was facing a rampaging Sanju Samson.
Yes.
What an over he bowled, but yeah, it didn't help that Sanju suffered a brain fade.
But
But for me, Arshdeep probably hasn't got that many wickets till now.
Yes, that's fine.
But he has been a bowler who has made all the difference for the Punjab
absolutely,
Kings.
Yes.
absolutely.
In a lot of ways. I believe he's one of these future stars to watch out for. We talk about these batsmen, Ayush Badoni, Jitesh Sharma, Tilak Verma,
Arshdeep, boss,
Suyash
Arshdeep.
Prabhu Desai, Devol Brevis for that matter,
Shabazz
also from a
Ahmed.
different country though.
Yeah.
So many players that we talk about. I think you should also look at talents like Arshdeep Singh.
Dr. Kapil has already declared Gujarat Titans are lifting the cup this time.
So that's a big shout, but
that
okay.
might happen. So Ramesh Devasi, Deepak replacement CSK this year. Any update on that?
None.
Not yet. I don't think they will get anybody in the squad for this year.
They've not even confirmed it yet
Yeah.
properly. The point is, it's out there in the media. Almost everybody is certain that Deepak Chair is not going to be there for 4 months at least. He's going to miss that T20 World Cup, that flight to Australia he's going to miss.
Yep.
And yet, it's the CSK team who haven't come out and said a statement or like released a statement. So,
we'll have
still
to wait
waiting
on
for
that.
it.
We'll have to wait for that. I don't.
Or maybe they are looking for that replacement. That's why they have not announced it yet. They're going to be like,
Yeah.
Deepak Chair is not available, so we have announced this guy.
Well, I
as
made a video on who could replace Deepak Chahar. So
Do check
please
that
check
out.
out that video. There are some interesting legends, some nostalgic names. So I hope that can answer your question. Check out that video on Sports Today. And just a bit off topic, do any of you guys follow NBA? Well, we will do that soon.
I used to have like once upon a time I used to like Boston Celtics I used to support, but yeah, haven't really followed it in the last few years except for a few things here and there, like how well Stephen Curry is playing or how LeBron James is doing, Kyrie Irving and all those.
Jason Fernandez is like saying hi. Do you think MI should have retained Bolt for Pollard? Okay, I'll just tell you in simple terms. Mumbai Indians screwed up on all fronts. Batting, bowling and fielding in the mega auction. There are some guys who played smart. For example, Kolkata Knight Riders. They paid 15.5 for Pat Cummins in one of the auctions. They got him for 6.5.
Yeah.
Bolt and Bumrah, left and right. You went with Taimal Mills, but he could have been a backup. Okay? I still don't know whether Mumbai Indians are blessed with tremendous foresight that they got Jofra in, who's not going to play this year, but he'll play in 2023. But look at the backup that you got. You got Unadkat and Taimal Mills, Daniel Sams. You are not playing Tim
Thambi.
David, who was paid 8 crores in the auction.
My point is Mumbai Indians always have that two bowlers up front who are going to give you wickets, and they always had this one backup bowler who would always do decently as well.
Yeah.
For example, when Bumrah, Malinga were there was a time Mitchell Johnson was there.
Mitchell McClenaghan.
I was coming to that.
Yeah.
Mitchell McClenaghan was there. Then when they won, there was Nathan Coulter-Nile who was
And
playing
James
that role,
Pattinson.
and James Pattinson. So this year I thought when we looked at their auction strategy, when the auction was happening, you both hadn't joined us then.
Yes.
I remember telling Nikhil, I can't understand what Mumbai is doing. For players like Ishan Kishan, Akash Ambani did not even,
Putting the baton down, correct?
Yeah, did not even put the baton down. It was like any team was bidding is just like putting it up there because he wanted him so bad. But what did you do with others? You hardly made proper buys at the auction.
And okay,
you are not even when a team is playing only two overseas guys, you know that your auction strategy
is messed
was I was again going to use a sort
Bad
of
word.
bad word, so I'm not going to say.
Yeah, I got into
but
trouble
your
for that.
auction strategy was horrible,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Also, and this is worth noting, is that you're talking about auction strategy, when John Buchanan was the coach of
KKR.
He had actually, after that entire affair got over, he had written a book. And I don't know how many of you guys read that book. I wrote it because I wanted to see what the hell this guy had to say, considering how badly he had messed around with the franchise. But, and this is, he's talking about from the perspective of a player auction in 2008. And it was one of the things he mentioned. He said that one of the things that we figured out very early was that if we figured a particular franchise was desperate for a player, we'd bid for them just like that to make them increase the thing and cut out of their purse. Now, every man and their dog knew that MI were desperate to get Kishan back. So what happens? Even when he's not holding, even when Akash Ambani was holding his baton up, others were bidding because they knew it was going to drive up the price. And eventually what happened? You spend that much money on the guy. And that's the thing. Okay, you're backing Kishan. I get why you had needed him there. You had missed out on De Kock. You need a wicket keeper. You needed an opener. So fine, you got Kishan, and he was already part of MI. So getting that player back. But what about the rest of the squad?
No, also they missed out on De Kock. De Kock was sold for just 6.75 crores.
Exactly.
Okay. Your auction strategy was completely flawed. You could have gotten players like Trent Bolt back, and let's be honest, players like Trent Bolt, players like Quinton de Kock, players like Faf du Plessis, all went. David Warner also, all were very cheap. I thought it was teams trying to save money for the players who'd come later. Somebody like Yuzvendra Chahal, who got sold for only 6.5 crores at the end.
And Vanindu Hasaranga went for 10.
He is not better than Vanindu Hasaranga in Indian conditions at least? It was a little surprise, right? But RCB paid such a huge price for Vanindu Hasaranga.
But they didn't pay less for Chahal.
And Yuzvendra Chahal was only available for 6.5 crores. And also, I think so he got a little unlucky that he was the last pick left among all the leggies who were there in that sort of round.
Hugh Gedmades fainted. I think that's someone.
Vanindu Hasaranga's bidding war was going on when the IPL auctioneer fainted. Actually, I'll be honest, like when we saw those visuals first,
we were really scared.
I was very scared. I thought something really bad has happened. And then when we got to know what really happened, at least, and it was great to see him come back the next day towards the end of the auction and do those final rounds.
Well, Jimmy Neesham has joined us and he says, hi.
Hi Jimmy, very poor performance tonight.
Looking forward to your social media posts though.
Yeah, but I think you should change your spelling. It is Jimmy Nisam. It's not Neesham, it's Nisam.
But I love it. Such characters coming to the chat every now and then and giving us a little bit of a laugh at.
Is Mohit Sharma still good for a consideration? Dhaval Kulkarni can also be a good option. Ramesh Devasi saying.
Dhaval actually was a squad player with MI.
He was.
For a number of years, played that 1 or 2 games during a season when they had already qualified.
Manjeet Singh has a question. Just see what he's saying. I can't quite read it off the screen.
Nikhil sir, kahan gaye aaj?
In the hills.
Has gone to the hills. Why SRH is not?
पहाड़ों पे है वो.
पहाड़ों पे है वो. Why SRH is not giving Kartik Tyagi a game? They bought him for ₹4 crore and also he had a decent outing with KKR.
First off, he played for RR, I believe, not KKR.
Yeah,
but
I have read reports that Kartik Tyagi is not fit. He's gotten an injury. That's why he's not
where is that report? I could not see it. I
haven't found him myself.
I haven't found anything.
Galaxy Warriors is also pointing out that he's got an injury. I don't know. We'll have to check up on that. But I am getting reports that he is injured. That is why. Mohit Sharma can replace Chahar, Galaxy Warriors. Yes, we were all saddened that he was a net bowler, considering the heights that he had reached under MS Dhoni's captaincy for Chennai Super Kings. But will he have that same confidence because he was back?
He was a purple cap holder, right?
Yeah, 2014.
One season he won the purple cap. Made it to the Indian side, boss.
I know.
Let's not forget that.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yes, it is. Why Anukul Roy is not fielding nothing? Anukul Roy.
You used to see him quite a bit, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Every time one fielder would go off for Mumbai, Anukul Roy would come in.
See, Ramesh Devasi, we will tell one thing. We will tell you the team composition when the game is tomorrow. Kolkata Knight Riders versus Sunrisers Hyderabad. Could have been a good rivalry, but Kolkata is dominating that rivalry.
True.
And in the last season, Lockie Ferguson bowled a spell of the ages there.
Oh, yes.
I think he got 5 wickets against them in one game and took them to super over also.
Super over, I remember. The 5 wickets thing,
As I keep saying, I don't remember this, but I love Lockie.
Cricket fan.
Like Lockie the player, not the food. That I don't like at all.
Yeah, what is
how IPL players get payment, any method in payments? We'll do a separate video on that. How is the payment structure in IPL?
Left.
How do players get it? How does the auction pool system work?
Can you imagine if IPL players were like, sir, Paytm?
Yeah.
I don't think Paytm allows you to send a crore or above.
Obviously,
Yes.
obviously.
Like that.
Why is Arjun Tendulkar, Yash Dole not getting chance to play? Tell the franchisees that. Why they are not getting a chance to play?
Arjun Tendulkar, I thought Mumbai just sort of did it to please.
Tokenism, nothing else.
Yeah, tokenism, as
nothing
you'd
else.
call it.
And Yash Dhol, I mean, look, again, guys, this thing of under 19 players ka hype, don't go on the hype train this quickly.
No, but it has to be said that Yash Dhul had a very decent run in the Ranji.
Right.
And even Vijay Hazare for that matter, if I'm not wrong.
See, if I may have to look at it, Yash Dole may go on the path of, say, Shubman Gill when he started out. But again, in that Delhi setup, where do you find a place for Yash Dole?
No,
Actually, you could
right
find
of
plenty of
Sarfaraz.
places. Yeah.
Also Sarfaraz, the player that you would say will probably have to go out if they want to bring in Yash Dhul.
Yeah.
Sarfaraz hardly got chance to bat last game. They sent Shardul, Akshar, everybody before him.
Exactly.
So I don't know what happens
Do
to
you
that.
think Washington Sundar has been underutilized in IPL? Well, Washington Sundar is not going to play this game and the next game.
At least 2 games he's missing.
He's
Probably 3 games also for that
Yeah.
matter, because that injury
Split
can be a
webbing.
little.
It can be a little tricky. Yeah.
Yes,
The webbing.
Washington Sundar has suffered a split webbing on his right hand, and that is why he will be out for at least 2 games. That's what's been confirmed. 3, we don't know. We hope not. So
And I don't know why you are saying, Ramesh, that Rahul Tewatia has been underutilized when somebody gives away 24 runs in an
In an
over.
over, he's not gonna be underutilized.
I don't
No,
think
no.
he can be utilized that well, even though I feel they thought of using him today. You remember Tewatia got to bowl an over, but then he conceded runs. How many runs he gave away?
Good question.
Somebody hit him for a 6 if I'm not wrong.
Nothing.
One,
who has always got something.
Yeah.
He's saying why GT picked Vijay Shankar. Well,
Good question.
I will go
Actually,
on
Tewatia only gave away 9 runs
9 runs.
today.
I will go by your name. Nothing. We don't know.
We've got nothing.
We have got nothing to say in this. Why GT picked Vijay Shankar?
Something.
Yes, we'll have to think of something to answer Nothing's question on Vijay Shankar. We don't have anything to say.
Jason Fernandez asking, what do you think of R. Ashwin batting at number 3, guys? Wasn't that weird? Weird would be an understatement, to put it
I
mildly.
mean, Lucknow and now Rajasthan have given 2 wins on a platter to teams because of bad batting.
Because of bad strategy. Yeah, absolutely.
Bad batting strategy. So yes, well, I think we can wrap it up, guys. We have gone on for 45 minutes to 50 minutes.
Yeah.
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 Please, if not, we can ask more questions if it does. So tomorrow, guys, KKR versus Sunrisers Hyderabad.
I just, before we
Yeah.
finish, Sunil Kaul, I was reading his comment when you said that let's end it.
Yeah.
He's saying the Gujarat Titans is playing like a champion. Hardik is this time the best IPL captain. Do you guys agree?
Up there with the best for
Up
sure.
there, he's shown
And GT
calmness,
are
and we
playing
have
very well.
Spoken in previous chats also, like how Hardik goes to every team member, assures them of their role, puts them in a good space, and also ensures that, okay, there are occasional bits of anger that he displays. He
Yeah.
showed it to David Miller, unfortunately.
And Shami.
Mohammad
Even
Shami.
today, to the physio,
But
I
I think that is also because at that time you want to win so much. See, there are players who are trying really hard, and for Hardik, this is a big opportunity.
It
Because
is.
he has got a point to prove. Mumbai
Yeah.
Indians let him go, which I thought he might have thought that probably not
It
going
was
to
a slight.
happen.
Yeah.
But they had to let him go because who
Yeah.
do you keep? You had to keep Rohit, you had to keep Bumrah, then you had to keep Surya Kumar Yadav. So I thought Mumbai Indians did the right thing with that.
And
strategy
Pollard
at least.
too.
Pollard, because I don't think so you're allowed more than 3 cat players if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong. That was also a
No,
problem.
you could have picked 4 Indian.
No, I think so. Not entirely all of them capped.
Yeah.
But Pollard was retained. no? Did they didn't buy him back in the
all
action.
4 couldn't be
Capped.
capped Indian players. I think so that was the rule.
So then, but then, wait, hold on. Then Pollard was retained. He didn't
Pollard
go to the
was
auction.
Pollard had Pollard was retained.
the
but
greatest IPL
I'm saying
player according to me.
Hardik had a point to prove. Also, with so much talk about him not making it to the Indian side in the last few months, guy's been suffering from injury. Lot of talk before this IPL whether he'll bowl, and now he has come out all guns blazing in terms of with the ball as well, because he's done really well. Even though today he had to he pulled up and did not bowl his complete quota, but you have to say Hardik with his current batting form, with the way he's been bowling, definitely a sure starter in that 11
Yeah.
that will take the field in Australia in that first game.
Galaxy Warriors have already taken a lot of your comments here. All SA players seem to have good time so far. Tomorrow SRH is going to beat KKR and have 6 teams on 6 points. Wow.
That would be interesting if it happened, but I don't see it happening. So
Yeah.
Shane Bias is coming out.
I'm going to be wearing my KKR t-shirt tomorrow, guys.
Bias is going to have his KKR bias on full floor tomorrow. And guys, you might have already made your teams on Gamezy. We told you, replace Trent Bolt. If you have done it, fine. If you didn't watch the video, your fault.
I had Lockie Ferguson as captain and Hardik Pandya as vice captain.
So,
I should have probably
pretty good
picked-
night.
So he's
for
got a
him.
bonanza today.
Probably should have picked it the other way, would have won far more.
Yeah.
True.
Gamezy, download the app, continue playing the game there tomorrow.
Continue
KKR
joining us
SRH.
live.
Watch out for Sid's analysis of the KKR versus SRH fantasy game. We'll see you tomorrow. It promises to be a close match, but let's see who we pick tomorrow.
Shivam, we are finishing. We can
Yes.
understand your
Yeah.
emotion.
He's putting the
Like,
lights up.
comment, share, subscribe, folks.
Thank you for watching, guys. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night from the Sids and Shane.
The
One night.
Triple S show.